to prevent more creatures. And of course, we are dealing 2 damage on top of... Oh my... What? To you? Oh my god, this card is better than I thought. We won! We actually won. We go with this and we absolutely crush them. Swift Spear, tap please. And that's it. They cannot cast another spell. Now they're reading the card. I told you, man. I told you. Hello everyone, it's Sloth here and I have to congratulate you. Why? Because you have chosen the coolest, the most epic video you will see today, and we will have a lot of angry Mono-Red players today. So does it sound like a great day? It definitely does to me. Elesh Norn is the backbone of this extremely cool Phyrexian deck, and she is so much more powerful than you think. The passive triggers in creature combat, so that means every time your opponent blocks your creature or you block their creature, they actually have to pay mana or they lose 2 life. This also has vigilance, very strong stats, so Mono-Red cannot kill this, and especially combined with Phyrexian Censor, that is basically complete hard counter to Mono-Red. Not only their creatures come tapped, so haste doesn't matter, they cannot even block with them, but also they cannot cast more than 1 non-Phyrexian spell each turn. And guess what? Mono-Red has no Phyrexian spells. That means it's like a hard limit of 1 spell a turn, and creatures do not even get haste. And the best part? Mono-Red players don't know how to read. We proved it once and like one after another in our career of Magic. So this actually hits them only the moment they play the creature and they are going with Monstrous Rage, and then they realize they cannot cast anything. So you will get so many free wins just based on them not reading Elesh Norn and Censor. And on top of this, we have the full Phyrexian deck with Skrelv protecting our key creatures, having extremely nice 1-drops that basically cannot be answered easily, and Duelist that hits twice, especially with Butcher and Geeks. It is actually insane because you can either pump it to 4/4 basically, or you can draw 2 cards on turn 3, which even more if you play it with Chorus. So this deck has insane potential and it will get so many red players salty, so I hope you will absolutely love it. And listen, I know you want to see this thrilling gameplay and some Mono-Red scooping in shame, so we'll go directly into there. But first, our absolute legend for today is Blob Zombie, our absolute veteran and friend of the channel, and lately also the pun master. And listen, I'm trying to keep up with the puns, but your power is just... it cannot be contained, so I can just watch it dive. So this deck is for you. I really think you will like it. This one is very special and I had a blast with it. So thank you for being here and let's go into the gameplay. Optimally, you want to start with 1-drop into Duelist, into Butcher or like the Phyrexian, the Geeks, you know? But it's fine, it's fine. Oh my god! Oh my god, we actually got the card. I love it. This draw was so important because now we can get rid of the Firebrand or at least stop it, so it prevents the damage, and maybe they will try to trade, which would be absolutely awesome for us. I think we will just allow this. They will have Monstrous Rage or something. I will try it. Oh my god, they actually traded. I was sure this is a Monstrous Rage. Man, this is so good for us. Still good play by our opponent because they basically got it back in the form of token. So, you know, all around fair exchange for both of us. I definitely want to attack and go with Duelist probably. We know they don't have Monstrous Rage most likely. If I want to play this, I should wait with the attack, but I think we go Duelist. It's also better from like surprise. I would love, man, if we were on the play, that would be such insane difference. They should not block. I don't think they are playing it as they should, and I love it. So you want basically to have Duelist in the board attacking when you go with the Butcher, because this is the way to get the maximum value. We could trade. I will trade. Of course, Butcher is amazing, but I don't want them to get too much card advantage. They will get, I believe, a Goblin from this. If it's a Goblin card, it is a Goblin card. Until end of next turn. Alright, alright. We need to roll with it. I could try to kill it and set up Skrelv for the next turn. It's not bad. They will play this. It's other goblin, right? This creature or another control dice. So we probably want to force it right now. Alright, alright. Not in love with this play, but I want to overload them, so maybe they cannot cast all the goblins. Unfortunately, they will cast all the goblins. So, as usually for the red cards, whenever you kill a creature, you get punished by your opponent getting extra cards. And I think that's great. This prevents removal from working against aggro decks, and that's the best idea. So, no salt at all. No salt. So this one, discard up to 2, I don't think it matters right now. This one also doesn't. I think we go Elesh Norn. I think this is how we roll. And now then we go with Vigilance. They cannot kill Elesh Norn probably, especially with Skrelv. So she should be able to carry game. This one has Menace, but it's very slow and needs a lot of mana. So right now they want to unload the cards from the hand. This is like very minor temporary advantage. So if they go for this, that's basically time walks us ahead. So of course they need to play all the cards, and then this is like free value basically, when they have no other value. This is, oh boy, they will start getting damage. I'm not sure if they realize. This has to attack. I don't think it's a good idea to attack with anything except this and the token. Yep, good call. But that means 2 damage already. So this is super sweet, and man, Elesh Norn will carry this game. You have to, you have to. So this card says that he has to attack every turn. Here you go, 2 damage, because Elesh Norn will get damage. That's the trigger, and that's the start of the end for our opponent. Alright, I love it. And we also have the stab, which is super nice. We'll see with this. We can go for the Sanctuary. Don't forget, it's also a Phyrexian. Bro, I could just literally try to kill them, but I think it's not worth it right now. I think we go with Sanctuary. Oh, but I need to have colorless if I want to go for this play. Maybe we go step into Sanctuary. So I will play like this. Damage is super important because you tax them for mana if they cannot pay life, basically. And we can go with Sanctuary. I could go with the Butcher. Oh, then I missed the damage. No. I cannot admit to misplay, you know? If I play this now, I admit to misplay. But to be absolutely fair, I think it's more important to activate Sanctuary because it's so much more expensive. This is only 2 mana, so we are wasting 2 mana basically, because it's 2 for Butcher, 1 for Stab, and rest is wasted. So and we will draw a new card, so hopefully that will fill the blank. So we can make 2 turns at maximum power basically. Okay, I hope they don't have anything for Elesh Norn. I could protect, but I don't think we want to. And this is so cool! Every time they deal any damage, they need to pay mana or take the damage. And they think they can afford, but believe me, at some point, they won't. This will be rough. Let's see how they attack. Probably swing all, because they know they are super behind. Okay. Okay. I could go for the Sanctuary and block 2. I probably want to kill this as fast as possible. Alright, I think we'll make a no. Yes. We'll make a weird play. I know guys, this is a weird play, but I think it's better, because we want to kill the one creature that is actually not attacking. They will get the card, let's see if that's a goblin. Finally, they didn't draw it. And now we can kill this guy to prevent more creatures. And of course, we are dealing 2 damage on top of... Oh my... What? To you? Oh my god, this card is better than I thought. We won! We actually won! We go with this and we absolutely crushed them! Oh man, this was perfect. This was so perfect. We got the wrong mana. I will try to play it. I will try to play it because we are on the play with good 2-drop and good 3-drop. If we can draw any land, we can play basically everything. So I really hope we'll fix our mana. Alright, I mean, it's not exactly what I hoped for, but it's doable. Scamp can kill our Duelist, which is unfortunate. So we should probably block it. But we'll see. Let's see the play. We also prevent any kind of 2-drop to attack, because then we can trade to, 1 for 1. And then we'll go with like Center or something. Okay. It seems they have a pump spell. Alright, never mind. Never mind. So do we care about Scamp? Oh, so they didn't allow us. So obviously you need to make this decision, because they can make the same play by dealing damage to your face. They can just sacrifice it. So it's fine, it's fine. I think they should attack with Swift Spear, to be absolutely honest. Black cards and white mana, that's my favorite. That is my favorite. I think Censor will absolutely destroy this deck. I didn't have it in like super first version, and then I thought, bro, like this is the most fun card because it completely shuts down Mono Red, and they are still not reading it, and I guarantee they don't know what it does unless they read it. Oh, but there is some hesitation. Let's see, Swift Spear, tap please, and that's it. They cannot cast another spell. Now they're reading the card. I told you, man, I told you. I will read it myself. Can't cast more than one non-Phyrexian spell. That means they cannot pump anything. Which means 3 blocks for us, because our opponent has no idea what those cards do. Because they don't know they need to actually interact with opponent deck. By the way, we are playing all of this on Mana Screw, so that's kinda impressive. Do we go with Skrelv? This will die probably on the next turn, because they realize how annoying this card is. I think we'll go with Skrelv. They can make a play right now, but it's only 1 mana. They definitely have Monstrous Rage, that's why they attacked. And now, I think we should hit the face. Yep, let's hit the face. I think they will go for this, the +3/+0 that creates a creature, the dread creature when it dies. Unfortunately, they will probably go for this play, then attack face, then sacrifice the Scamp, kill the Censor. I think, unfortunately, that's the play. This also enables them to play more spells. I would prevent it, but Skrelv was too late, and of course we are color screwed completely. Oh, this is even worse, because this can be reused on the next turn. But what can you do? Our opponent is just good at Magic, and we literally cannot play half of our cards. I mean, we cannot play most of our cards. Black cards and white mana. This is... Bro, like... Oh my god, Schaffer, can you let me play the game? Oh, they don't know how to play it. Oh, they actually did not sacrifice. Okay, I'll take it. So now we go for a Sentry, which will remove the Scamp, and it will make it a living nightmare for our opponent to do anything. We could even get rid of this, but I think we just go Scamp. Also, even if this dies somehow, and don't forget, they cannot cast 2 non-Phyrexian spells, so it's impossible to go Lightning Strike into something, not even mentioning Skrelv. So I think... Bro, this is all of our plays, basically. They still have something for 1 mana. Can I start attacking them? A bit of a problem is that they can swing and Monstrous Rage it. I believe it's a 5/4 then. We need those cards for it. I will still try to be a little bit aggressive. So obviously getting color screwed completely and not being able to play our cards is probably not our biggest upside. So this is the type of game we are playing. If we had normal draw that actually draws both colors, game would be won already. So it's one of the shuffler games, you know, when you pray that you get the right card that wins the game. We cannot really block here, I think. I really don't want to get scammed, so I will let them to play Monstrous Rage. It's fine. You can deal your 5 damage. We are going down to 9. That means that's the end of the turn. Right, it's a 5/4. Yep, I remember correctly. If we had black mana, we just cast a spell in response and they lose the game. But we are not good enough for this. I tell you, we'll never draw it. I mean, like, literally never. Alright, so we will go with Censor. This one could be used for defense, which is pretty nice. And then, to be absolutely honest, I could go double Censor, but the problem is I'm not guaranteed to ever draw the black mana. So there is chance I will play the whole game without half of my hand. Which is great. Thank you, Shuffler, for this one. And I still want to win. So this could be 2-turn lethal. I want to, be prepared. Censor is pretty decent at doing stuff. Plotting is absolutely the worst play, right? Well, unless they want to go Monstrous Rage again. So this is still a 5-4. I could kill it right now. And you know what? I feel it's worth it. What do we do with Scamp? Scamp is pretty slow. And that also means they don't go Censor. They can kill one of those creatures because Sentry has insane toughness. So even with monsters, man, the Censor is censoring them so hard. Oh, that's the best case scenario. Oh, I really hope they have another Monstrous Rage. Still, we get the trade. Let's see. I think they should go for Censor, but in that case they are not getting the Scam back. So we basically trade 1 for 1. Alright, they went with Sentry. That is fine. The Dread token is super annoying. This is what we didn't want to happen. Listen, Shuffler, can I please draw a land and actually play my whole deck? Or is it too much? The answer is it's too much. Alright. So I think that we need to be aggressive. Let's go double Censor. Because we will have to win this game very quickly. Man, if I will win with this kind of... By the way, we are close to drawing 1/4 of the deck on only white mana. Thank you for this. The game would be so incredibly over if we got a normal draw that it's crazy. So basically our opponent has been protected by the Shuffler to the best extent. Let's see if that's enough to play the best deck of the format and also get insanely better draw. Let's see if that's enough for our opponent to, to win the game. So next turn they are forced to block one of the Censors, and I have the Chorus to prevent them from lethaling us. I'm not sure... Well, I don't see a Phyrexian card. They wanted to go for lethal and they forgot how Censor works. And I think they might be dead. We will also force probably some interaction. Sure. Alright. I'm waiting for this play, my friend. Okay, I will, guess what? Block it. And let's see. So this is a trait. Now they can deal 3 damage to Censor, and we can block it with Skrelv at no damage. They can also go face and try to go for lethal. I tell you, man, they have absolutely no idea how this game even works. Which is fine. Like, you can be a beginner, but you really shouldn't be in, like, top 3rd league, They don't know how to play this game at all. Alright, guys, we are going first, and we need to take the full advantage of it. We go Skrelv so we can protect the Duelist. I really hope we can hit with Duelist. This will be huge. Let's see if they remove Skrelv instantly. They are indeed good at magic. Alright. Seedcore is nice, but we don't need to use it now. I actually don't want to use it now, because it will give them the information that they need to be careful of poison, and I want them to not be, scared of poison. I really hope they don't have another thing. Alright, full swing, they want to trade, we don't go for the trade, and this is how we try to steal our value. Let's go Geeks, especially that we have double Geeks and double Strike. This is how we cheat our value. Let's go, even though they had anti-Skrelv, which is really good for them, and now we are, getting some extra advantage. And it's also, like, Geek still tries to protect us a little bit. I need some removal. We need to draw removal from the top. We have 8 pieces, so if we can draw, like, 2 removal spells right now, we won the game. Oh, this is so good for them. We can trade here. I will take this. This is actually good. Trading card for card is already good enough, especially after you drew 2 extra cards. And don't forget, like, when we save life, we can play another Gix. So now what I think we will do, I could play a lot of creatures and force a block potentially. So I could go Gix into Chorus and then go Duelist. And they probably have to block, otherwise we are getting a lot of value. Or we could go Elesh Norn and try to set her up. I think it's better to go for this. And you generally want to make sure that you don't give good information to your opponent. They really don't... Okay, perfect. I want them to keep trading cards because we already got the huge upside of cards. So now they will lose the, you know, the normal game. As long as they don't have like this crazy synergy of mouse, double strike, draw cards, and Monstrous Rage into Lightning Strike, into Screaming Nemesis, and they just have Screaming Nemesis, it's actually way better. I think I take this hit, because this will allow us 2 extra cards. And now we have the Censor. Let's go with this. We will get to 3 poison on this turn. And this is important, what we will draw. I could also go Elesh Norn into Chorus. But I think Censor is so much more powerful, and we can also get a blocker. Right, this will be rough, don't get me wrong, but we need to be aggressive. And how many cards we need? We go this in this. I would really love to draw a single removal in this game. But unfortunately we are not getting there. I still think we go like this. We can even use the Seedcore. So this is actually the better play. This could be a 3-2 that also trades nicely. Alright, so now they can make 1 spell, which means if they add to the board, they cannot cast anything else. They kinda need to kill the Censor first. Okay. Can we raise? They can pump it to what? +3. So 6 damage. If I go Chorus, they can deal 1 damage to something, but it doesn't matter too much. I might regret it. I will go for this play, because I'm scared. Because I know they have something really mean for me. Okay, that's perfect. That means I can try, but they will kill Censor, right? Alright, this is interesting. Oh, no, we will take every option, my friend. I really need to win this game, so I will think about every single possibility. It's so important to me. So jokes aside, this dice, 100%. We can pump Chorus, in which case this can trade. They will kill Censor with the trigger probably. So we will get 1 token, 1 drop, and the rest of the cards. But we have another Gix. That should be enough. So I think we will go for this play, because Nemesis is super annoying right now. I mean, like, really annoying. And when we clear the board and they cannot play more than 1 spell, alright, sure, that's good. They are losing a lot of their crazy value. I think we... Oh my... Man, we are absolutely crushing it! This is so perfect! Oh, they will scoop. They will be so mad after this game. Elesh Norn is insane because she has so much stats. You know this deck cannot afford to kill her, especially with the Butcher that makes her indestructible to Frenzy. Like, this is 5 damage, so now they cannot kill her even for 4 mana. They cannot even attack easily. Let's see. Alright, 2 creatures, 1 mana, probably Monstrous Rage, and now they cannot... Oh my god, I love it! This is so perfect! Oh yes, you like your geeks, don't you, Monored? We could go for this one. Oh boy, I know you won't, but it's not good. It's not good. We need to wait full turn because before it triggers. We just need to swing, guys. We really need to swing. This could be a 5-4 at best. And don't forget, they never read the text, so they don't know that Elesh Norn has actual text on her. They never know about it. So they need to pay 2 mana. Let's see. Alright. But, You are dead, my friend. And now we can use this because suddenly our creatures are 1/1s. And our opponent tried to trick us, but it doesn't work. They are back to 1, and we can draw some cards, but I honestly don't think we need to. I think the game is already won. So they're at literal 1, they need to kill us from 11 life, and that's the explosion for today. Oh, I had so much fun. Man, I kid you not, I never drew so many 4-landers as with this deck that has no lands. We kinda drew like 20% of all the lands from the deck already. This is crazy. Let's see if we will get the legendary 5th land moment you draw 4. Our opponent is playing the 1 allowed deck in Magic. See? It's always like this! You get a 4-lander, then you get the 5th land, and you get through. We lost. The game is close to over right now, because we won't be able to do like anything here. Oh my god, what can I do? I even cannot attack with Skrelv. I kid you not, the game is basically over because we have nothing to play. We started the game and we already have nothing to play. We don't play too many lands in this deck, exactly to not have this situation. And they will, so we can kinda go with it. I really want to get cards with Geeks, that's the huge problem. In order to do it, I would have to kill the mouse, and you know what, this is okay. This is actually okay, they will attack with this. So they will get the pump. This will be scary, but this is our way to get some value with this Abysmal draw, and we need value with this Abysmal draw. So they know we have removal right now, because we were like, I don't know if I want to kill it. Alright, they attacked, now we can get rid of the mouse. This is very strong, but it will lose the double strike on the next turn, so this was a huge hit. Look at this draw! Man, I played 22 or 23 lands, I will check after this game, and I drew already 6 lands on 9 cards. I tell you, whenever you get flooded early game, like on the opening hand, you get flooded more in the next draws, like nearly always. Oh boy, let's see how many more lands we can hit. We did so much to draw this one extra card. We took so many risks. Elesh Norn is a serious card, the first good draw of this game. She's super slow, because you kinda want to set up the board before she drops. This is acceptable, because Elesh Norn will hopefully, you know, do stuff. Hired Crow is annoying, 2 damage to the face is definitely annoying. We are getting to the better stuff right now. This is absolutely necessary. Elesh Norn needs to do all the stuff right now. And the problem is that they don't need to target her, so Skrelv doesn't protect. It also means it's very hard to, you know, just get full value. Like, if they Monstrous Rage, even Hired Claw can get enough. Like, it can be 2-3 and then it... Alright, they are saving for the... Oh, this will be so hard. Oh my god, they actually tapped fully. Which means now they probably cannot attack easily. No way, they didn't. Alright, this is... I tell you, man, how am I supposed to play the game? 7 lands already. Bro, I don't play lands in this deck. I'll be honest, guys, I think this is a loss. Like, I don't think how can we recover from this. Like, those draws are abysmal. I could try to go with Skrelv for damage. This is so bad. I actually think we have to go like this. I don't love this play, guys, but what can you do? This is okay. They need to double block. So we can basically use Skrelv as a blocker in a way. Oh my god, no way, they are going all in on this. Okay, guys, we need to get good value from this. So we can kill 2 creatures. Well, probably like this. However, the Hired Crows are so annoying. They're so annoying. Definitely Challenger and something more. They did get dealt a lot of damage as well. Huh, how do we do it, guys? It has to be Challenger. I could risk they don't have a pump spell and then try to hit the claw. But I think we have to go like this. This will be very mana intensive for them to, you know, do anything. And also our creatures will get a lot of damage. So here are the triggers. 8 damage. That's huge. That's huge. If not the horrible draw that we are having, I need to make stops, by the way. I cannot let my opponent know how the bad draw. But I'll be honest, I don't think there's any way to recover from this. You cannot recover from this kind of draw. It's just... you are dead. You are just dead. Oh my god. I cannot believe... like, especially with aggro deck, right? If you cannot add to the board every turn, you are instantly falling behind and you cannot compete with deck that didn't fall behind. They unloaded all the cards and, I mean, they have 3 cards more. Guess what the cards are? I got 3 lands, they got this. And lands are not hitting face, that's what I will tell you. This is a great card. Maybe? No, we cannot play those. I wanted to go for the Butcher. Yeah, so I wanted to play this into this, but it's 7 mana and we actually don't even have enough mana. And I can go with this, and this is the difference between drawing 3 lands and 3 creatures. So yeah, at least the better player won, right? Oh man, if we can get to Geeks, that would be absolutely perfect, but we'll see. We don't know the matchup, we don't have 1-drop, and just for the reference, this is already getting, like, this means getting flooded. Like, man, I play, I think, 22 or 23 runs, I don't remember. So having 4 of them in 2 opening hands because of hand smoothing, I believe it takes 2 hands and gets the 1 closer to your ratio from the deck of lands and non-lands. So the fact that we drew 4 lands, and of course, as always, we drew the 5th one, is kinda crazy. So what do? I really think we go with Duelist. The card is amazing, and we go with this. We need to go into Praetor on the next turn and try to draw 2 cards. This is kinda our win con. And then we need to proceed into not getting flooded. And what? And this is kinda scary. They will think we are a poison deck with a weird draw. With no one. You know what? We actually are a poison deck with a weird draw. Because we have 7 1-drops and we couldn't draw any of them. So let's see. Will they bounce? Okay, this is actually pretty okay. They still got a decent value from this. And how do we play it? At least it's not a land. I really think we'll go with Chorus into Go for the Throat. This is okay, right? I still think we won't. We actually can win on poison in some scenarios, so, you know, let's keep rolling. Let's get some card advantage. Let's get some advantage. What I don't super like about it is that they will feel super threatened and play more defensively, and I actually want them to not fear us, because we have insane card they never expected, and unfortunately this, you know, this won't come into play. I mean, we have to play it. We don't really have a choice here. And our draws are pretty decent right now. So we can get them to 5 points. Man, this is crazy. This is crazy. They will get the Preacher back, so that's not as good as it seems. You generally want to play Sentry at the last turn to get lethal or some huge advantage, or like, alright, or win the game, I guess. Man, we are beating best decks. So guys, I hope you had as much fun watching those games as I had playing them. Man, I cannot imagine the amount of shame scoops that Mono-Red players will do with this deck around. However, of course, as every deck, it has some weaknesses. We'll talk about them in the rest of the outro. We'll also show you the score, because we actually managed to beat the meta on the ladder. So that's something I'm super proud of, especially with Elesh Norn. This is insanely cool card. And I didn't talk about this too much in the intro because I wanted to keep it brief as always, but here we can talk, alright? This is a safe zone for talking about cool cards. And I remember Elesh Norn being extremely strong in Standard. She is a very underrated card that is actually legit strong. Not only for 4 mana you get a pretty good stat line, Vigilance is a huge huge deal, especially with her passive, because you kind of force your opponent, like even if your opponent has a blocker, they still deal damage to this, and they still get 2 damage, or they need to pay 1 mana. And on top of the other creatures, especially if you give everything menace, which means that 2 creatures need to block everything, she can be extremely oppressive. I never really go for the, the incubation thing. I don't really think there's too much value in this, unless in very specific scenarios where, for example, you expect a sweeper, so you can sacrifice some creatures, get this as basically an enchantment, and then you can, I mean, you get a lot of new creatures, so I think it can have its use if you expect a Sunfall, so you can kinda dodge it and get sacrifice on the creatures that, do not matter, like Chorus or, some Skrelv maybe, and that's the idea. But enough about this. This is sidetracking. She is a very strong card because instantly she pressures so much for damage and mana, especially if you are on the offensive with like Butchers. It makes it so hard to defend. So this is the white card that actually has haste, because the other creatures get this effect immediately. You swing all, and your opponent can get, like we have seen, 8 damage in single turn. That's crazy. And this comes as a surprise very often, so your opponent doesn't have mana prepared to pay for the tax. Nobody will ever expect this card. So that means your opponent, if they are tapped, they are guaranteed to take 2 damage from every attacking creature, because if they block, they deal damage to it. If they don't block, it hits their face. So in both cases, it works. And before I go sidetracking completely, huge thank you for our patrons that allow us to experiment with this type of cool builds that I wish there were meta instead of boring mono-red. So thank you guys for allowing us to have, fun videos and fun standard. So yeah, I hope you are enjoying this one. I'm pretty proud of this deck. It just fits perfectly in everything. However, I would make some changes maybe after trying with it. This is a Phyrexian. I actually started with way more than this, and then I started cutting them, and in the end I think Skrelv might be more important than I expected. Whenever you open with Skrelv into Duelist, into Geeks, or yeah, mostly Geeks. You can also go Butcher, but I think Geeks is the best one, because if you're on the play, you need cards, and this gives you cards immediately. So I think this interaction is really good. So I would probably remove 1 sleeper. I also got flooded like crazy. We have 23 lands, so I would test at 22. And maybe even go to 21 if I continue to get flooded. I thought that 23 is already risky, but I actually got flooded like crazy, and sometimes I got color screwed like crazy. We have Verges, so we should have equal mana more or less. And one other change. Censor is incredibly good against red decks, especially that they never read the card, so they never know what this does until it hits them. So this has like way more power than it should, thanks to your average mono-red player, So I think we could even go as high as 4 of them. I really like Sentry, not only because it's a removal, of course, like we know how the card works, and it was pretty meta for a while. However, the biggest upside is 4 toughness. If you don't block with this, they actually need 2 different cards to kill it, and they need 3 mana at the minimum. Okay, 2 mana, because they can double burst lightning, but it's guaranteed 2 for 1, and especially if you have Censor in the board, that means they literally cannot kill this card, and that does wonders for, your for the chances for you surviving the game. Also, the exile is very nice, so they don't get any death triggers with, like, there are a lot of creatures that give death triggers, especially the mouse, right? So we can hit it, and even if they kill it and the mouse gets back, suddenly it loses all the counters, and then you can kill it because it deals 1 damage. So I really like this card, but of course it's hard to find a slot because we have already so many good 3-drops. Censor and Geeks seem absolutely crucial, and yeah, and I mean, that's the stuff. Don't forget, we didn't use it, but Soulstone Sanctuary is a Phyrexian. I wanted to use different card at first, but then I realized, man, this has full synergy. So you can switch it to a creature at dance step, then play Butcher, and this will be a 4/4 with Menace. This will be enough to close so many games, especially that with Butcher your whole board has Menace, and with Elesh Norn every block hurts probably 2 damage. So even if they block it, it still deals damage. You can deal surprising amount of burst with this deck if you play Elesh Norn, Butcher, and Swing All. Like, man, it's probably like 12 damage just by getting blocked with the whole board, because, you know, 6 creatures means that they need to pay 6 mana. If they are tapped, that's guaranteed 12 damage, even if they have full board under control. So that's pretty sweet way to win the game. We also use Seedcore. It can provide any kind of mana for all the Phyrexians. We only have Stabs and Go for the Throats. Those are the only non-Phyrexian spells in the whole deck. I couldn't draw them basically ever, but I don't want to overdo the Chorus mana, so I didn't go for the 4th Seedcore, and I didn't want to overdo with Sanctuary. I think you can experiment with this, but I was scared that I will just not get black mana for Stab and Go for the Throat, and you want to cast those spells on first 2-3 turns usually. So guys, oh, you want to see the stats? We went 4-3, officially beating the ladder, and we play so much mono red that I'm proud. Like, bro, we proved that we can fight with Phyrexians. And, you know, like, jokes aside, you know I'm a control player. I generally don't, you know, play creature decks. But first, this one was surprisingly fun, thanks to Elesh Norn, Censor, and Geeks, because you can have very cool plays. And second, I wish we had this type of decks as the aggro. This would make Magic so much more fun. Mono Red is a very boring deck that is mostly about having good RNG. This one is way slower, but also way more interesting and has way more potential for like mid-game. The only, you know, problem with this deck is probably Sunfall. There's no like counterplay to Sunfall. You just need to get either a lot of cards with Geeks so you can go for wave 2, or you just need to deal enough damage so you can kill them with, like, you know, next play basically. However, I was considered, by the way, you can put 4 Cavern of Souls into this deck. I just didn't go for it because I don't see control. It's all about mono red. Like, my ladder is usually just mono red and bounce. So yeah, but if you see a lot of control decks, you can just smack 4 Cavern of Souls. All of your spells in the whole deck basically are Phyrexians that all of them will be uncounterable, and you also get the perfect mana. But I didn't want to risk that I won't be able to hit my stab and go for the throat against aggro decks. But you can switch the deck, and against control you have whole deck of uncounterable creatures basically. And you also can go for either Duress or this 2 mana battle that exiles a card and taxes it for extra 2. I had those cards in like idea phase of the deck, but I decided it's not worth to sideboard basically against control decks because it's so much more important to go against mono red. And it proved to be good decision, but just giving you options, because you can build this deck in many different ways depending on what you want to focus and what you want to be weak of. And I decided that we are going against aggro, and it worked. Of course, it's probably on average not as competitive as mono red, because mono red is the best deck of the format since over a year. So no, just keep it in mind, but I think this is actually way more solid than I expected. We beat the ladder, I'm happy with it, so I hope you enjoyed. Thank you guys for watching. That was a long outro. Tell me in the comments if you survived until then, because I had so much to say about this deck, and I think talking about Magic is cool, so I hope you liked it. Thank you for watching. You can subscribe if you enjoyed if you enjoyed video until now. You probably like the channel. And see you guys tomorrow.